Namaskaram. You are able to listen?
Yeah, Namaskaram, Mama.
Yeah, namaskaram.
Yeah, yes, Mama. Namaskaram.
Thank you. I must thank Priya Shankar for giving me this opportunity to share whatever I know. Today's topic will be on Sadhana Panchakam of Adi Shankaracharya. Let me begin with a prayer. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmat Acharya Paryandam Vande Guru Parambaram. Adi Shankaracharya needs no introduction, and everybody knows that he hails from Kerala, son of Aryamba and Shiva Guru. The beauty of Adi Shankara is he lived only for 32 years. He hails from Kaladi, but he went all around the country for the sake of Sanatana Dharma. There are two ways of looking at Adi Shankara. One, you can look at him as the divine incarnation of Shiva, or you can look at him as the Adi Shankara, who grew to this height where in 32 years, what he has achieved, the achievement about which we are talking even today. Even though he lived for only 32 years, the amount of work he has done is completely unbelievable. When he was born, the situation was completely different. There was so much of contradictions. There was so much of interpretation of Vedic principles. There were attacks from all sides, especially the ideological warfare, you can say. The Buddhists were very much in force, and they were all across the country. And Veda was above. The Vedic principles were being interpreted in a different way. At that point of time, Adi Shankara was blessed. I mean, he blessed us, and we must thank Shiva Guru and Aryamba, who were blessed with the grace of Vadakanadar Shivan. If we look at Adi Shankara as a divine incarnation, perhaps we accept everything as it is. But if you look at Adi Shankara as a different person, the way in which he grew up, the environment in which he was living, the amount of work he has done, especially the physical movement from Kaladi to all across the country. In short 32 years, there is so much for us to learn. His understanding of the society was unbelievable. And the way, perhaps it was a greater unbelief. We cannot even believe that in age of 32, he could achieve so many things. But all great masters, many of them who lived for less than 40 years, they have achieved about which we are talking even today. You take, for example, Swami Vivekananda. He lived for less than 40 years, but still his words are being heard everywhere, and his imprints are seen everywhere. And Ramatita, you must be knowing Swami Ramatita, he also lived for hardly less than 39 years. But the way in which he conquered the Western world was something which you have to see by looking into the books, Woods of God Realization. So the number of years doesn't matter for all these great masters. For them, the life is counted not by the number of days or the number of years they have lived, but the achievement which they have done for the sake of society and especially for the upliftment of Sanatana Dharma. Adi Shankara is something, when he lived there, his condition was, he was not from a very rich family, from ordinary poor Brahmin family. He lost his father at an early age. He was so fond of his mother, just as any child is so fond of his parents, her parents. He also was very fond of his mother. But he wanted to come out and lead a life of sannyasi. And he sought, without his mother's permission, he was not willing to come. Perhaps you may be aware of the story, how he got convinced, what happened for his first step towards renunciation. In 32 years, he has done 114 works. That is, Bhashyam he wrote, 18 Bhashyams he wrote. Prakarana Grantha he wrote 23. And Dhyana Slokam and other various Ashtotram, various slokas, 73 he has done. It is very easy for such a great scholar to be in that level of intellectual peak. Nobody could touch him. See, when he wrote commentaries for various Upanishads, still there are people writing commentaries on his commentaries. Still people are reading about that. But he was highly appreciated for his intellectual brilliance. But the greatest thing which he has done is he came down to our people, ordinary people's level. And out of mercy, out of grace, you can say karunya, he came to us and talked about so many things. He established 6 ways of worship, Shanmada Sthabana he did. He brought unity, not only within the establishment, not only within the temple worships, but also culturally he was able to connect India, that is Bharat, Aganda Bharat we can say. And about him, still we are talking because of his works and the amount of work which he has done. The first stotram which he did was Kanakadhara Stotram. You must be aware, you must be knowing. And in fact, all of you must be chanting in your house. Kanchi Acharya used to say, the present Acharya Shankara Vijayendra Saraswati used to say, he is so much, the charity begins at home. There is no need for anybody to tell us. We have been doing charity. And Adi Shankara is the greatest person. Even at that young age, he saw the poverty in a mother, when a woman, on seeing him, came with a Nellikani. It was not even a good one, which she has kept it for herself. But on seeing that fruit, Amba fruits, Adi Shankara was so much worried about the economic conditions. So Acharya used to say, there is no need for anyone to tell us about charity. We have our own charity mechanism. So Adi Shankara's Kanakadhara Stotram came out from his heart, even though he was an intellectual giant. First, he spoke out his heart and poured out Kanakadhara Stotram. And Lakshmi, goddesses Lakshmi, cannot but shower blessings on that young mother who gave a dried Nellikani fruit to Adi Shankara. So Adi Shankara's spiritual journey started with this Kanakadhara Stotra. His commentaries are, especially his Viveka Chudamani is very much talked about. It is Jewel of Discrimination. Wonderful book it is called. And he has written so many other books. Each one is complete, full and complete by itself. But he thought something should be done for ordinary people like you and me. Perhaps he must have thought. Then he composed Sadhana Panchakam. Panchakam means 5. This Sadhana Panchakam also comes in the name of, it comes in various names. It is also called Upadesa Panchakam, Advaita Panchakam, Shopana Panchakam. Panchakam means 5 slokas. And Ashtakam means you must be knowing 8 slokas. Satakam means 100, like that we have. But this Sadhana Panchakam consists of 5 verses, and each verse he has given 8 points or 8 steps. Panchakam means steps also in one way. And this is called Advaita Panchakam also because it takes you to the path of Advaita, and it is also in the form of Upadesa. He gives suggestion to us how we should go. It is out of his love, Karunya. Adi Shankara thought everyone should reach this state of immortality. Everyone should get mumukshatvam. Everybody should get moksha. So he started this Upadesa Sadhana Panchakam, and in that he has given you 40 steps. And it is called Advaita Panchakam because it gives path, route, or suggestions, or it directs you towards moksham, the path of moksha. The first thing which he says, say if you look at Adi Shankara in different aspects, especially the way in which from the height of his intellectual zenith, he comes to our level. There are certain things which we have to learn from him, especially in Kashi. When he sees a person keeps on reading grammar, magapping, repeating the grammar, he spoke about Bhajagovindam. He calls us as a Mudamate, fools. He in each and every stanza of the Bhajagovindam, he takes a type of belt and whip it us with that. And he asks us to wake up from this repeating this grammar without understanding it. But if you come to Viveka Chudamani, he comes to the stage where he teaches you step by step. And it is a wonderful text for the beginners to take our path of Laukika towards Anmiga path. But here in Sadhana Panchakam, like a LKG teacher teaches her children, he starts with the first one, Vedo Nityam Adhiyatam. He says that Vedam, everybody should study Veda daily. Why Veda? What is the speciality of Veda? Is there anyone? Because Shankara says, should we study Veda? Now we have come to a stage where, especially like person like me who has crossed 60, is it possible for me to study Veda at this age? Will it be possible for me to study? Will it get into my mind? Then what shall I do? Is there anybody who has said that other than Shankara, this Vedas should be studied? Great Manika Vachakari is called the author of Tiruvasakam. He says, Agamam Aginindru Annipan Talvaja. God Shiva is the embodiment of Veda. So he says that, let us pray. Irevanadi Potri. So we will pray to Lord Shiva, who is nothing but the Vedas. So he says that Saivat, Tirunavakarsa is called
நீங்க மியூட்ல இருக்கேன் மாமா.
Okay. So Tirumular, one of the Siddha, he says that Vedathai vitta aramillai. There is nothing greater than Veda. So we should study Veda. Now, if we are not able to study, what we shall do? At least whoever is our acharyas, whoever is a smart, or wherever Vedas are taught, we can help them to learn their traditional Vedic knowledge. You must be aware that recently in Kashi, we have got Agnihotra Satas, where in India for 140 crore 40 crore population, we have got only 150 Agnihotris. They have to lead a very disciplined life. Not only an individual, but the entire family has to lead a disciplined life. So whatever you can do to protect this, or to see that the Vedic knowledge is continued, the families and traditions are being followed, it is our duty to protect them. Wherever Padasala is there, we can go and help them out. Whatever contribution we can do. Or in whatever way we can help them out, we can help. Or there are many of us who come away from our native place or from our village, leaving our Kula Devam and Kula Guru. We have come either to US or cities like Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, Chennai and all. Our houses are there. Our great-grandparents' houses are there. Agarharam is there. What we can do, those houses can be utilized for spreading the Vedic knowledge. We can give it to them for a rent, or we can renovate those houses so that Vedic knowledge can be continued. Vedasala can be started there. Even with the 2-person, 3-person students, Vidyarthis, we can start this. So we need not feel bad that we will not be able to study Vedas. Vedo, then in this way, we can help to spread the cause of Veda. In fact, there are various other ways we can help. There are many temples, especially in Tamil Nadu, in various other parts of the country, especially in the deep down south, many villages, the temples are without oil. We can help by sending oil to those temples, or we can see that a proper Archakas or Vedic Pandit is appointed there and they are taken care of. So in these various ways, even though we have not studied Vedas, we can help them to continue their education. Just as for any other education, you need to have a basic qualification. So too, for Veda, you need to have some basic qualification. Daily, we should have an Anushtanam. And once you start this Vedic knowledge, or the very important thing is Anushtanam. We have to do Anushtanam daily. Daily, have to read, study, see that the pronunciations are proper. And if you see where all acharyas, they keep telling us, start our daily Anushtanam. It may be anything. You may be doing Sandhyavadanam, or you may be daily chanting Tiruvasagam, or Lalita Sahasranamam, or Vishnu Sahasranamam. Whatever it is, whatever is being done at home, which is being followed for years together, that we can continue. That is the only way we can help Veda to grow. If Veda is removed from our country, from our culture, everything is lost. Because this country, the sacred land of Bharat, the essence is, it's every dust is full of vibrations of Vedic knowledge. Swami Vivekananda, after coming here, back to India from Chicago, after landing up, he knelt down and kissed the earth and said that every dust of this country is so sacred. That is because of Vedic knowledge. So the first thing is study Veda daily. In whatever way we can do, we can study. In whatever way we can help, we can help. And we have got various satsangs, various organizations, they have the satsang, we can participate, various classes for children. Especially the people, Shankaracharyas are very much concerned about the present day children who should have a link with the Kula Guru, Kula Deivam, and their Grama Devatas. So he has been, Acharyas has been suggesting that whoever is away from their native place or from their Grama, village, they should visit their native place once in a year at least. If not at least once in 2 years, they should visit their Kula Deivam, if possible, Kula Guru. And whatever you can do for your Kula Deivam, Grama Devadas, village deities, you do your best. That is very important aspect of having a link, keeping that link maintained by visiting at least once in a year. That is very, very important, so that people will come to know what great is our country, what great is our village, and what is the tradition which has got a hoary past, which should be continued without any disruption. Kanchi Acharya used to say, connect and communicate. This is very, very important that we should do. Second is, Acharya's second step is, he is telling us, Tadudidam karma anushtiyadam. Tadudidam karma swanashtiyadam. Whatever is told in the Vedas, that we should follow. Whatever Veda is telling us, we should follow. For Vedic students, Vidyarthis, every day they study. They spend a lot of time on learning things. But what we should do, we may not be able to complete 7 years, 8 years of courses, even though now we have got a lot of facilities to learn online. We may not be able to devote ourselves for the cause of Vedas, but we can do a lot of things by listening to the orders or listening to the commands of Vedas. One other thing which we can take, for example, is Dharmam Chara Satyam Vada. This we can easily follow. We have to do Dharma and we have to speak truth. This is one thing which we can, like an Anushtanam, we can practice this in our day-to-day life. There is an example of Mahatma Gandhi. A parent came with their child to Mahatma Gandhi and asked Mahatma Gandhi to tell the child not to eat chikki, kalla urundai, groundnut, this one. Then Mahatma Gandhi said, no, let you all come tomorrow, I will tell that. Then next day when the parents, they came with the child, and Mahatma Gandhi said, yes, you don't eat this groundnut chikki. Then the parents asked Mahatma Gandhi, why you didn't say this one sentence yesterday? You should have told this yesterday itself. Then Mahatma Gandhi said, before telling, I should follow this. I should follow this. And yesterday I practiced that because I've been eating chikki, groundnuts. And yesterday I didn't eat. So I said this only today. So whatever we say, we have to follow. Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara. We have to follow the various aspects of Dharma which is being reflected in our day-to-day life. That there is another thing which we can easily follow, Atiti Devo Bhava. Whenever guests come, we can be a great host. We welcome them. We welcome them with good food, with a smiling face. And in those days, every temple was giving prasadam and the people were eating. And prasadam was given to everybody. And whenever the yatris go through their cities and villages, they were given food. Our house was full of guests. We may not have had at that point of time enough rice or vegetables to provide sufficient food, but our great parents, grandparents, everything were magnanimous enough to provide food, whoever comes to our house as a guest. So in that way, we can be a great host, Atiti Devo Bhava. Then there is another way of doing it also. We are going to the mats, acharyas, we can have a Bhikshamdanam, we can do it. This is a great way of serving. And Bhikshavandanam is another way of doing things like Annadhanam. Annadhanam we can do. Besides Bhikshavandanam, we can do Annadhanam. I thought I should give a very interesting episode in this connection. Every month during Anusham, nearly 30-40 people used to come from Erode and Karur. I think 2 years back at Orike when Periva was there, when he was about to sit, he saw these 40 people coming as a group. Then I was standing next to that Puja Mandapam. Periva just showed a sign. Then I understood. I took all of them after the puja. They wanted to go. After the darshan, after seeing the Chandramaulishvara, they wanted to go back because every Anusham they come see this Kamakshaman temple. They come to Mahaswami's Adhishtanam. They go to various Murugan temple, Kumarakotam, and other places. Then they have to go back to Erode and Karur. Then I took them, when they had a darshan, they saw Chandramaulishvara. I took them to the Annakshetra. I saw to it that they had a food. Then one thing, very important thing which has to be noted here is, after the puja was over, the first thing on seeing me, the Pariva asked me was, our Saptala, did they eat? That is his concern, because whoever comes, we should provide food to them. So Annadhanam is very, very important. So this is another way of following the commands of Veda. We can follow scriptures in our day-to-day life. There is a mechanism also. Normally before eating, we start eating our food daily. Normally we take a small amount of food, rice, along with dawn, and keep it for the birds, especially crow. So in whatever way we can do, we can follow this second step. Then the third one is third sadhana. These are all sadhanas because this has to be followed in our day-to-day life. This is a type of a step, because sadhana means a step also. We can say the first step is to study Veda. The second step is we have to follow. The third step is tene sasya vidiyatha ma tene sasya vidiyatha. What he is telling this Ishvara, to the Ishvara, we should offer everything. Whatever action we do, we should offer to Ishvara. It is very easy to say, to offer, because all of us are acting or doing work with a result in our mind. But he says that you offer it to Ishvara, apachit, apachiti. That is, let it be an offering to the Lord. All our actions. That means what? There are various aspects of life. Whenever we do actions or whatever we do in our life, we do it with some expectation, some results. If we don't get that result according to our expectation, we feel so disappointed. When we get whatever we want, whatever we dreamt of, or whatever we thought of, we take full credit. Or when the result is not up to our expectation, we look out for some scapegoat. That is not there, this is not there, that somehow we find fault with the environment other than ourselves. But we actually forget that all results, whatever results which we get is because of three factors. Three factors are very important. Out of these three factors, the third factor is very, very important. The first factor is ourselves. We have to work hard, whatever we want to do, whatever we want to achieve. We have to work hard. There is no alternative for that. Of course, we work with certain goal in our life. We should have a goal. We should have various steps to achieve that. To reach that goal, we should have a various milestones. We have to see whether we have reached the first milestone, second milestone, at the end, whether we have reached the final goal. In the same way, Adi Shankaracharya has given us 40 steps. When we achieve, when we go towards the goal, we should have a highly focused mind. That's what he says. Bhajagovindam, he says, don't repeat merely the grammars. Understand that, Dukran Karni. Understand the meaning. Understand the meaning of each and every word and seek Govinda, seek Bhajagovindam, he says. So when we fix up the goal, we have to work hard. And when we have a setback, we have to find out what is the reason. What are the pitfalls? Whether we should work more, or we have to think differently, or we have to give priorities to certain other things. So first thing is, I should be highly focused. The second thing is the environment. Environment also plays a major role. We should not get distracted by the environments. Everybody has got an environment in which he or she lives. We have to face those environments. We cannot keep on complaining about the environments. When I study for the examination, especially when I was a student, college student, I always used to get tempted by the TV, cricket commentaries. People used to listen, especially when games or tests are played. Everywhere, the TV noise is heard. What you should do as an individual, it is my job to get into your room because my goal is more important. I should not get distracted by the environment around. I know the reason for the distraction, but I don't have any control over those factors. I cannot tell my brother or a sister or my parents to switch off. I have to study. For my sake, they cannot keep the house empty by switching off the TV. It is my job to focus on my studies. I should go to a corner of the room, in my room, and I should study. So I know the factors which is surrounding me, because of which I get distracted. Only when we have exam, a lot of marriages come, a lot of people, guests come, a lot of relatives come. Then we cannot avoid them. We should not avoid them also. But we should have a mechanism to go around the situations, or whatever we call it as a problems or situation. We should go around and focus on ourselves, our studies. Swami Chinmayanda used to say, when Ganges comes from top down to our level in our village, it is not a small journey. It is a long journey. Wherever small stones are there, it jumps over the stones. Wherever big blocks are there, it goes round the blocks Sometimes if it is a small pebbles, it just crushes out all those, pushes out all those pebbles and comes down to us. So we should learn from this Ganges how it comes down to serve us. The same way, we should fix our goal and see that the factors surrounding us do not disturb. See, when on the day of my examination, I must be happy that there's no strike. Okay. Then the third factor is everything's okay. Your environment is okay. You have worked hard. You have put forth the efforts. The next thing is there is one factor. You have written everything well, but sometime the examination is postponed. There are certain factors over which you don't have any control. One, you should have a control over yourself. Second is you should not allow the environment surrounding you to control you. The third thing is the factors beyond you. The third factor is very, very important. That is called a God. We call it as a God. Unknown factor that is very, very important. That is why we have to surrender all our actions at the feet of the Lord. Be happy that if I get a first rank, I must be very happy. And if I'm not able to get, instead of 99%, if I get only 97%, be happy. Be thankful. For that sake, we need not take any extreme steps. So whatever action you do, you surrender at the feet of the Lord, because the actions you don't have any control, or the fruits, the energy which you get for doing any action, to do any work, energy is not yours. Before going for the examination, my mother gives me food, juice, see that I have a good breakfast, and she plays a major role. Even though I'm a little bit delayed while getting up, my father wakes me up, takes me in a car or a scooter, or whatever it is, drops me in the school right on time. I'm able to write examination because I'm able to remember everything. I don't forget things while writing the examination. That is very, very important. Fortunately, there was no bunk, no strike, no teacher's strike. I was able to write in a peaceful manner. The result has come. It is not because of my studies alone. It is because of the various people involved in my success. One is, of course, my efforts. I cannot say I'm not studying because I have to see examination, or I'm tired, I don't feel like writing examination. I cannot say that. Now, I am involved. My parents are involved. My sister has not switched on the TV, so I must be very happy. I should thank her. My teachers are involved in my studies. They taught us very well. Third is God factor. That is why we should surrender our action and our fruits to the Lord. When we give prasadam, when we every day morning at the altar of the Lord, when a mother gives prasadam, do arpanam of our food, we take it as a prasadam. When the prasadam comes, our attitude changes. For prasadam, there is no taste. We don't say it is too hot or too sweet, or there is no salt, which we have got the liberty to say at home. The prasadam, that is the beauty of prasadam. You accept things as it is because it comes from God. So when we surrender our actions and fruits of action, there's a greater scope for our betterment. There's a greater scope of understanding things in our life, whatever is surrounding us. And we are always grateful to the things wherever we are and the environment in which we are. So in the process, what happened is when you accept things, when you surrender to the Lord, when you surrender your action to the Lord, when you accept the result or the fruits of your action as his prasad, I don't get BP. Okay, I put forth my efforts. If I fail my first attempt in my IAS, or I didn't get my ranking, whatever is necessary for IAS, let me try next time. At least I learn from my mistakes. Not mistakes, I learn whatever the pitfalls which I have seen in my first attempt. Let me try. When I take this as a prasad, my attitude also changes. I don't curse this prasad. I don't feel like accusing myself for whatever I have got. So the best way of doing things is accept things. This is the best way of leading a better life. Accept people wherever you are. Accept environment, whatever it is. Accept the people whoever is around you, and accept them as they are. If we accept as it is everything, then 50% of our problem is solved. Oh, I'm happy that I got parents like this. I'm very happy. So there is no issue. I got excellent sister. No issue. Be happy. I'm in a better school. Be happy. If the teacher is not teaching well, let me put forth more efforts. Let me not complain about anybody. But do whatever best you can do. That is Ishwararpanam. Ishwararpanam. Surrender everything at the feet of Lord. But you have to work hard. That's what Lord Krishna tells Arjuna. You have to fight. Let me take care. I will take care of the result. That is the way. Let me work. It doesn't mean that he gives everything. We go to very acharyas. We seek his blessings. It doesn't mean that we avoid working. When acharya's blessing is there, everything works out well. That is the reason why God is kept at the Lord. Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. This is the Veda Vakyam. Mata, Pita, Guru, Devam. When Guru's blessing is there, everything is taken care of. But Guru will not take care of everything. He will not work for us. And it is not fair on our part to demand that our Guru should work for us. His blessing is more powerful than anything else. Okay. So the next step which he has said is, another important aspect of surrendering this action, the fruits of actions, is we don't dissipate our energy. We don't get diverted. Our energy is highly focused. There are many people get dejected on seeing the result, on seeing whatever they get, either in the office or at home. Sometimes what happened is, I realized the value of certain things only at a later point of time. When I was at home, whenever I come from school or a college, idli is ready with the chutney or malhapadi or whatever it is. Dosa is ready one day, puri and other things. But I keep complaining. What is this today? Why there is no chutney? If aloo is there, I complain about chutney. If chutney is there, I talk about aloo. I always think of whatever is not there. But when I go out for a job outside, when I go to a hotel and eat idli and order for idli, when he says it is 80 rupees, then I realize what is the value of my mother's idli. Here I get packed item. He keeps it on the table, but at home it is packed with love. It is for our nourishment, our betterment. The food is given. So it is very, very important to accept things as it is. The people as they are. It doesn't mean that you should have a negative energy. whatever, if you are not satisfied with your environment, you can help that environment be in a better one. Either at home or in school or in a college or in our office. There is no way complaining about everything. If you can help your parents at home in the kitchen with your mother, fine, do it. Don't complain that chutney is not there. In the office, if you say that it is not neat and clean, at least make some arrangements. See that dustbins are kept. Make arrangements, or you yourself can keep it. If by coming outside, don't say that it is dirty. If you can able to help anything, do it. Let us not be like a cricket commentator sitting on place and describing about each and every ball. We cannot sit at home in an armchair. We cannot be armchair critic. We have to improve ourselves. We have to make ways to see that the environment is better all around us. We cannot complain about anything because the environment created for us, we are unique. The environment is created for us. Accept the environment. Don't complain about environment, because wherever we are, we accept it. From today, we can take steps, see that our life is better. Today is because of our past, okay. Don't complain. If you want a better future, work hard. See that you change the things and environment. That's what Krishna says. You must have heard of the story. After the war, Krishna tells Arjuna, you get down from the chariot. There is a practice in the battlefield. After the victory, the charioteer, the driver, used to welcome the one who sits behind in the seat, to welcome that person and garland him, help him to come down from the chariot. So Krishna should have help Arjuna to come down from the chariot. On the other hand, Krishna said, you first get down. Arjuna thought it was an insult for a great fighter who won the war by killing all great warriors, fighters, killing enemies, hundreds of enemies. Krishna looked at him and said, you get down. Then when he came out, Krishna came out of the chariot, the entire chariot burned, fire, inflame, engulfed in fire. Then Krishna, in his beautiful smile, looked at Arjuna and said, that is why I said, all along, he asked why. He told Arjuna, all along I was there, nothing happened. I was withstanding everything. Otherwise, you would have collapsed. Because I was there, the chariot was able to withstand everything. All arms and all arrows, all bombardments, I was there. That is the reason why I asked you to get on first. Then Arjuna regretted. In the same way, there is somebody sitting, we are just sitting at the back and we are moving around. We should be very thankful to the Lord, or wherever it is, whatever it is. Don't regret about anything. Let us improve. So these are the basic things. Then we have seen basically 3 points, 3 steps. Then the fourth one is Kamye Maditsyatha. Kamye Mati. Tyag Jayatham. What he says is, let us not do work, do karma, do actions with a specific purpose, specific action, or in anticipation of results. Yes, we do. But don't focus too much on results. Yes, we do work, we work. Why he says like that is when we focus on the goal, we forget about the route and path and efforts. Yes, we know the train, we sit in the train and we know or we sit in the plane from Washington, D.C., I have to go to Bombay. I know the destination. I need not worry. Only when I land up there in Bombay, I know, okay, we have landed here. Don't worry too much, because worrying too much saps out our energy. It takes out all our energy. That is very, very dangerous thing. It doesn't mean that just because you say you do action, then you say, don't worry about, you surrender the action at the feet of Lord. Then you say that surrender the fruits of action to the Lord. Then what is the need of doing any action? Why I should work? I need not do at all. Doing nothing is not the solution. You can see every day a mother is cooking food. She doesn't eat first. She gives food to everybody. If it is available, she eats. Most of the time, you see her, she's on fast. She's not eating. So there is no need for her to cook for the entire family. No. Leaving, it is the purpose is not to stop doing our work. We should work. Yes, we need to fix our goal. Then what we should do, how we should work. There are many things we can do. The best way of doing work is don't do with any hatred, without ill feeling or too much of attachment. All that you should do is you should involve yourself in actions by offering at the feet of the Lord and taking the result as it is, because the Lord takes care of everything. And by accepting as it is without any hatred. There is a famous text of Ramana Maharishi, Upadesa Saram. Somebody went and told him, why don't you compose the Irevanakam, normally whenever text is written, prayer song is written first. Normally it is devoted to Lord Ganapati. Ramana Maharishi was a little bit hesitant. The Upadesa Saram consists of nearly 40 verses. Then he says that it is not mine. The words are not mine. The mind is not mine. Of course, it has come through his mind. But he says that I can't own it up because it's the Lord's light. It is the Lord's thoughts. I don't own up my mind. See his level of thinking. So what is there for me to offer prayer? What is there to say that it is my action? It is all, whatever has come out of my mind, it is his action, or because of him, all the thoughts have come. That is the reason why we say that don't get clinged on to the thought. As a thought, the man is bundle of thoughts. As the mind, so the man. But we have to be away from the mind and watch our thoughts. We should not get attached too much with our thoughts, and be an observer of our thoughts and start our actions. So the first 4 points is, first he said Vedam, study Veda daily. Then thing is, he talked about the fruits, actions, you surrender the actions, then surrender the fruits of the action, then do all actions without any hatred, or you should have a tidiksha quality, accepting everything as the passive opposite, as a basic principle to accept everything. If cold is there, okay, cold. If hot is there, okay, let it be. We'll make some efforts, have a AC. If it's too much of chalo, we'll have sweater. Let us not blame the weather. If too much of flood is there, we'll take steps to see that dam is constructed or river is changed, the path is changed. It is for the government to take action, or whatever we can, surrounding our environment. If we can build a small pond, we can do it. So don't blame anything. If you can do any job, do it. Don't complain about anything. So these are the 4 points. Next week we will see. And I hope within 5 weeks, we'll be able to complete this Sadhana Panchakam. Thank you for all the